This is a presentation called Using the Rothbucher Mini Prism Systems for Monitoring and Even More. We've got George Rothbucher of Rothbucher System with us, and we're really so glad to have you with us today. So first, a little bit about Berntsen. We have been marking the infrastructure of the world for nearly 50 years now, and the Berntsen products are used in countries all around the world. Surveyors can find us just about anything they need from Berntsen.com. Including our Rothbucher Prisms. And we've been representing now Rothbucher for nearly 15 years in the US. So we're so thrilled today to have George with us. And with that, George, I'll turn it over to you.
Hello, and thank you, Emily. Hello, everybody. So my name is George, Managing Director of Rothbucher Systems. Before I start talking about our mini prism system, I have to talk about a little bit about the mini prisms on the market. First of all, I'm happy that we offer a white paper for our mini prism system. So that means our system is proved by the University of Munich. The white paper is available, so you can always ask Berntsen for download. In the white paper, you will see that our mini prism system has an accuracy, let's say in approximately of 0.6 millimeter, including the error of the instrument. And I'm pretty proud about these things. Second thing is what you need to know is we offer mini prisms in silver and in copper coating. Silver copper coating only for the RSMP 380 and 390. Important is when you use a Leica instrument, please, or a Leica or Geomax, please use the copper coating, and Trimble and all the other instrument better is a silver coating. Of course, you can use both for both instrument, but on the maximum distance, on the maximum angle, and in the ATR mode, there you will see a difference. So when the distance is not as long, it doesn't matter, but maximum distance and the ATR is better if you have the right color. Next thing is, yesterday, in the last meeting, I talked about the maximum angle on target reflector of 30 degrees. The same we have mentioned is for prisms or mini prisms. So when you use the prisms for more than 30 degrees, the accuracy is going down dramatically. That is a general thing for all prisms, and for me, it's necessary because there is one thing often here from surveyors. They said, as long as I can see my eye in the prism, I have a good reflection. This is not really correct because we have done several tests, and we have mentioned after exactly 31.6 degree, you don't have any accuracy anymore. So better is 25 degrees, then you're on the safe side. Okay, let's start with the presentation. This was just an overview and things what you need to know. The first thing what I want to show you today is about 10 years ago. I have my company for more than 25 years. I was still very successful in targets and target reflectors. And after a while, I have mentioned that people, especially we did more and more jobs on the construction and on monitoring jobs. And more people, they wanted to use robotic. And for robotic, if you want to have a good result, you need a prism. So the idea almost 10 years ago was to create a prism as easy handling and as easy fixing without drilling on the wall, without drilling on a facade. And so I developed my first product, and this was the first mini prism product, I have to say. And this was my first mini prism, what I developed. And I'm switching now into the other mode so that you can see that better. So here, this was what we talked about last time, and today we want to talk about the mini prism system. So here you can see now, this was my first prism. I have to say the feedback was very positive. Everyone said, wow, that's pretty good. We can just glue it. We just fix it on an easy way. But after a short time, I have mentioned several problems. So that means one of these was the angle problem. And the next thing was, it was this tiny prism. It's not possible to tilt. So you cannot bring it accurate to direction of the total station. And so 1 year later, I start to develop my mini prism system, what I want to show you now. So now we are going to show you one of these items. You can see that here. So we have the high quality, we have the white paper available, and this is a part of a unique survey system. That's what I want to show you in this presentation. In general, for all my products, we have the highest quality in synthetic. So we guarantee temperatures up to 176 to minus 112 Fahrenheit, temperature and UV resistant. That's very important. And then that's what I told you, the white paper is available. So together with my mini prism system, I developed also some fixed points. And important is, here you have one of these fixed points. You just glue it on the wall. You can write here information like a position number, and then you can click in the prism in 2 directions. And it doesn't matter in which direction you use it, it's always the same point. So you have your measurement point 2 times 180 degrees. And this is the first big difference to all other systems. And the good thing is also, at the end, you just leave a cheap fixed point, or you can come back always to the point. And the mini prism you can take with you. Important also on construction side. That means now the easiest way to transfer XYZ coordinates on construction site is if you have a hole or a hole in the on the floor, or if in the elevator shaft, you click in the prism that you can measure from down up to the prism. Then you go to the next floor, you just turn it around, click in, and you have the same measurement point on the whole floor, what you can use. There is no easier way to transfer XYZ coordinates from one floor to the next. And it's a double control system, because we have another system, what I show you later, that you can from outdoor, measuring from down, and you can take the same point from the new floor. That's a second solution, but it's coming later. Then we have a click system. So you can combine our prisms, and you can combine it in 2 directions. You can see that here. Usually when you use more than one prism, it's good to work with 2 colors. Because when you're a little bit far away, the gray one is 0, and then you have always step of 60 millimeter. This as an example is plus 60, plus 120, minus 60, minus 120. Or as you can also here, you can see that in both directions you can combine them. And this is, I would say, the cheapest 360. A 360 prism has 2 things what you don't like. It costs a lot of money, and you still have to drill on to fix it on a wall. And the 360 on the wall has only 180 degrees. That's also we can offer for you for peanuts when we think about a mini prism of the cost. So then we have a second solution of fixed point. We have a stainless steel washer, but this stainless steel washer is made that it's also work with magnetic. And here we have a magnetic basement, and this basement fits very accurate into these stainless steel washers. So that means you fix the washer, and then you can add a prism, and you can turn it in all directions. So this is, as you can see on the left-hand side up, this is in all directions. You can turn and tilt the prism. So then another option what we offer when we're talking about these things on a construction side, if you now fix one of the washer in the center of a cover of a drain pipe, so then there is no easier and faster way for the installation of these things. So all these things, if you have specific question, I can explain it a little bit more after that presentation. I just want to show you all the option what we have, because we have so many options. And but if there are specific question, you can always come back to us, and then we can explain a little bit more. Another very often used is the magnetic base for stakeout on a facade. The only thing what you need to do is our prisms are screwed with 4 screws. So you take off the screws, and then there is a breakable point in the center point of our basement. And then you have to copy the facade on 45 millimeter, because this is the tilting height of our prism. The good thing is now you can do stakeout on a facade from any angle, even straight ahead. So if you have, you will never ever have an angle issue. With a robotic, it's perfect because you have the controller in one hand, the prism, you see in which direction you need to go. When you reach the point, you take off the prism, and then you can directly sign on the wall, and then you have here accurate, in a very high accuracy. We have so many surveyors are using that for a stakeout on a facade. One of the, I would say, most sellers we have for our mini prism system is monitoring. Why? Because we don't have to drill. We have an adapter where you can take this on and off. We have accessories, what we show you later on. So we have accessories against dust. We have accessories for more combination. We have accessories that you can combine prisms and drone and scanner target with a very high accuracy, because more and more people also use not only total station for monitoring, they also want to carry on with scanner and drones for monitoring, and we reach their precision of ±1 millimeter. On a track, as an example, there is no easier way just to take one of our fixed point, the RSFPX80. You click in a prism. If you have high vibration, you can screw the prism on the adapter, and then you just glue it on and you go to the next point. And then you have outside danger area, a robotic station, and you have a perfect control, because you can bring the prism accurate in direction of the total station. And not only there, you can see it doesn't matter if we have track or here, they are also have the prisms. So this is, we have, I don't know, 100,000 in use in Europe of these prisms. This is very, very popular. Here you can see that again. So the fixing is so easy, and at the end to take it off, there is no easier way. And with a bigger prism now, what we offer, the RS MP380, we have a very good result. We have a good accuracy. The ATR is awesome, and the feedback from the surveyor is really good. Then in the mining, as an example, here, this is a salt mining. You can see that even on the smallest points, they can glue it on. And or on a facade, no one wants to drill into a facade. That's what usually you have to do if you want to fix a prism. This is not necessary with our system. That is really, really one of the most important things. Here you can see that this is a museum in England. So there is one of these historic ships, the Victory, and there are also fixed. In this time they have screwed it on the ship, but you see, everything is possible. Important for me is for you to that you know, here we have the stainless steel washer, non-visible, no rust, no one touch it, no one take it away. But the good thing is here you just easy, you click on the prism and you can take it away and you just leave the washer, and with a very high accuracy. Now with our system, it's also possible we have for the same measurement point, we have targets like here for the scanner. The only thing what you have to take care of the offset. On the Prism, it's written, so on the RS MP380, the offset is minus 60.9, and for Leica plus 17.5. That means for Leica, it's the mini Prism button. On all other targets, on target reflector, on scanner and drone targets, the offset is always 0. And then you have, in a millimeter accuracy, the same point, what you can take on and off. If sometimes you want to fix the prism, that if you are afraid that maybe someone turns it or tilt it, so we have always fixed with 4 screws, so you can take off 1 screw and you fix it here, and then it's no longer possible to turn the prism. And then you can take a second one and you fix it here on the prism and you cannot tilt it anymore. So this is just an option, because sometimes the surveyor asked me for that they said, what is happening if someone turns or tilt my prism? If you do that, it's no longer possible. And here we want to show you what we offer on a system. So we have here 2 fixed point, the RS FPX80 and the stainless steel washer RS FPX90. And now, whatever you want to put on, target deflector, prism, scanner target, drone target, the same here, it's with the right offset, very high accuracy, the same point. And this is unique. No one else offers a complete system like we do. And so we are prepared for the future, and the future is now, because everyone is using scanners, everyone want to use drones. And we have just small fixed points, what you can leave, cost nothing, but you can do the survey with a very high accuracy. Because I talked about mining or tunnels, because our prisms are also very popular for tunnel and prisms, I have a good example for you. This is a picture, I would say this is almost 10 years ago. It was one of the first pictures I have seen my prism in that shape, and I was really shocked. And so that's why I developed a cover. So now you can take on a cover, and there are good things. First, it's safe from any dust. And the second thing is, if you have a lot prism in a queue, the robotic total station can only use the one without the cover. So that is very important to know for you. So these are 2 things. If the prism is in a higher position, like in a tunnel, we offer a magnetic version. That means you have here, everyone has a prism pole, and the prism pole with a 5/8 thread. Then you have a metallic cube you can buy, and then you can take off the prism, the cover of the prism without using ladder. So then I told you we have more options. So we have developed also small adapters like this here. So now we have another very, very good option, transfer XYZ coordinates from down up to the highest floor. So that means we have once more here 60 millimeter. That's always our offset here, 60 millimeter here, 60 millimeter, whatever you do in combination, it's 60 millimeter. Now here, if you fix this outside on a, let's say you are on the 10th floor, you have a brand new floor and you want to transfer XYZ coordinates. Now you can fix it on the outside wall, just glue it on. You can measure from down, and then you tilt this prism in your direction, and you can take the XYZ plus 60 millimeter. It's the same measurement point. If you want to combine, as an example, we made a test with the University of Braunschweig. There is a project in Hamburg. So they use these prisms. Wait a minute, I can show you here exactly. These are the pictures. They use it on a tripod. We have an adapter, with 5/8 thread. So you can fix this on a tripod. You can measure now with a total station with a high accuracy. And then they flew over with that with a drone. And we reached an accuracy of ±1 millimeter up to 35 meter high. And that was absolutely record. And so that was awesome for them also. And they've been quite happy with that. So this is another option what we offer in our system. If you want to have a non-visible prism, we have also very tiny ones. So we have also developed this with this stick here. So if you want, you can measure in any joint, or even like the forensic, they want to measure in a bullet hole or something like this. So you have here offset plus 10 millimeter, and here I think it's offset plus 60 millimeter, and here 25 millimeter. But this is all written on our website. So this is what you need to know about our prisms. So that means you have seen we have an easy handling, we have a high accuracy, and no drilling, just glue, and yeah. And just because on the last webinars, people asked me what is new in the future. Maybe someone wants to know my latest development will be available beginning of October. And this is one of these targets here with more options. This is a lot of people say, yeah, I know these targets are available, but the difference is here on the basement. On the basement, I offer a system that you can use it on almost any surface, and you can have any adapter with 5/8 thread, male, female. For the bolts, you can have it. For a Leica bolt, we will offer the same tilting height as a prism. You can combine it here with our prism system, and on and on. And the same system will be available as a scannable. And I'm open for any question.
I have a couple of questions for you. I know you and I have spent a good amount of time talking about Elbar prisms.
Oh yeah.
Can you kind of just touch base a little bit on like the comparison between like if somebody were using an Elbar prism and maybe wanted to go to your system, or the benefits and advantages for yours over the Elbar? Or can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, I would say it's sometimes it's nice to have the right competition. On Elbar, everyone who has already Elbars in use, I think the things what people not really like is the way to fix it. The first is you have to take off the prism. What not is easy, because you need a special key to open. Then you have to drill into the surface. When it's a facade, then it's not even nice to make a hole. So the owner of the facade usually is not very happy with that. And then I would say the next thing is what you can see here is first of all, we have two colors, gray and red. Gray is always neighbor house, bridges, non-visible, and red is construction. And the difference here is just glue it on, and then you have two times 180 degrees instead of the Elbar, one time 180 degrees. And there is no easier way just to make click and take it away. Or you just put it on, you make here some glue, you press once with pressure and you can leave it. So that means instead of drilling, handling, it takes, I would say, if you're really good and you have, or you're standing on a ladder and you have a power tool, I'm not sure if the people really like that. Instead of that, we have just a glue, we just fix it and that's done. We're talking about a minute.
Right.
And on an Elbar, it's never a minute. So that's what I heard from And the next thing is we also have here the highest quality in synthetic. We guarantee plus minus 80 degrees, or I told it the Fahrenheit. That is important. And we have the white paper.
Yep.
So we guarantee 0.6 millimeter accuracy, including the error of the instrument. I know that there are cheap Elbars on the market coming from China, but it depends what people need. They
Sure.
want a screw, they want a drill, and depending on the accuracy they need. If I don't need an accuracy, but then I don't need a monitoring. For a monitoring job, I never heard that someone said I don't need accuracy. I never heard that.
No, no.
Okay.
So talk a little bit more. You mentioned prisms from China. Talk a little bit more about what have you seen as far as the issues with some of the like the quality of the glass, that sort of stuff that's coming from China?
I'm the only thing what I don't want to say. It's everyone's decision using this or that prism. Everyone's decision.
Sure.
The only thing is what I can say is all our products are made in Germany. I can guarantee the quality. So the factory is here in Germany, and we have. That's why I can guarantee. I can say I guarantee on the material that and it's tested. So for me, it's more important to say that we have good products. I wanna carry on with that, and I never wanna go to switch that system. That after more than 25 years experience, people trust my systems. They love it. They see it works. Of course, maybe it's at the beginning a little bit more expensive, but when you use it twice, my system is less expensive. Why? Because you just leave that. And you just take this with you, and you can use it 2, 3, 4 times with any issue. And then at the end, you buy a new one, because there is always something happen on a monitoring job, on a track or something. But I can see, as an example, here we have surveyors, they have permanently thousands in use. So we're talking about 4, 5, 6,000 permanently in use. And they said, it's awesome. I just screw it on. And at the end, I just take it and leave that. There is no easier way. And they have good results. They have no issue with ATR, all these things.
Okay.
So why talking about everyone who has once fixed an Elbar, he knows exactly what I'm talking about. I think he will love my items. I'm sure about these things.
Okay.
Let them try. That's the best thing what
Sure.
you can do.
Sure.
Or maybe we have one surveyor already have fixed it, and maybe he can give the answer. That's even much more better if I would say that.
Yes. Yeah. All right. Well, another question for you. So this was something I know we kind of touched on the last session as well. You showed the stacking of the prisms itself. Do you? I guess what's your recommendation when you're using your instrument? Does the instrument differentiate between those prisms when you're using like your auto lock function on the prism itself, or is it best to sight those directly, physically sight them versus using the auto lock or the direct reflect function?
So you mean with a target reflector and with a prism, the different, or just a prism?
Just the prism. So I know last time we talked a little bit about the target reflector itself.
In important is, that's what I said at the beginning, maximum distance and an ATR function. We have very, very good experience with, we tested with Leica, we tested with Trimble, we made all these tests. That's why we decide offering copper coating and silver coating prism. That's the first thing. But the difference is always on the maximum. But there is no price difference. So just that people knows that if they have a Leica, they should go for the copper one. That's the only thing. What, because it is a different in the ATR. You will see the difference, and also on the maximum distance. So usually on the ATR, the maximum distance, let's say easily 500 meters, a half kilometer. That's quite long, easily. The difference is if I already know the point. Sometimes I have a measurement point. I know maybe almost a kilometer far away there is a prism of mine, and I know the coordinates. So I let the total station go in that direction, and then even they will find our prisms on that distance, because then the area to find the prism is so small, and then they click in. So that's why we have a very high standard on our prisms. So I take care that we use only high precision prisms. So you can see the distance is always good. The ATR is good. Cost a little bit more, but the quality is good. And as long as you combine them with our fixed points, it's cheap.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yep.
So that costs nothing. An Elbar costs much more in this. And so if you just use it once and you leave it or you throw it away, but no one throw it away like this. I know that.
Sure. Sure. Yep. Well, we have time for one more question here. I'm just monitoring the Q&A in the chat. So we're waiting on one more to come in. But in the meantime, you had mentioned the magnetic cover. Can you just kind of show that, how that magnetic cover clips on and off?
So we have, as an example, we have here the prism, and we have here the magnetic cover. It's so easy, you can take it on and off. But when it's on a higher position, we offer this cube here. And this cube has a 5/8 thread for a prism pole. And now the only thing what you need to, you just see that you can take it on and off like this, and then you have do it like this. Or when it's on the top, you just use it like this. You can take it on and off and take it away like that. And you can do that in a tunnel. It's the most people use this in a tunnel or in mining, because we're doing a lot monitoring also in mining. And they love that, because first of all, the dust, no problem with the dust. And the second thing is, if you have prism in a queue, the only thing what the instrument can use is the one that's open. That's perfect. So easy.
All right.
Okay.
Well, I don't see any more questions coming in here. If there are follow-up questions afterwards, please feel free to just email them. We just got a comment here from Jeff. He says, great monitoring options. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, George, so much. Appreciate you being with us today. And just a quick plug for in 2 weeks, we'll be doing this again, and we'll be talking again about drones and scanning targets. So please feel free to sign up, join us for that. There's some links in the chat function again on that white paper and the presentation that we did last time. Other than that, thank you again for joining us. We appreciate your time. And we'll see you hopefully in 2 weeks.